cannot miss what you've never seen before. Deep inside, you know there must be more. Hey there, everyone. Welcome to Stars and Wars, an actual play podcast. If you missed the first episode, you'll want to go back and listen to it. For those who've had quite a week and just need a quick reminder, our story takes place on Mahdi's Legacy, a prison space station. Levi is a longtime prisoner with an affinity for the janitorial arts. BM is a bit of a scoundrel and claims to be innocent of whatever it is that he's in prison for. And Lieutenant Fopp is kind of a jerk. When we last left our heroes, they were dealing with a strange case of food poisoning in the cafe.
Oh no!
And you see,
Is there a freezer?
You see one guy. There's five that are standing there as zombies, and then you see that there was one guy who had kind of some cool sunglasses and blonde hair, who's been ripped apart.
Oh no!
And he's got a name tag that says, "Hi, my name is Dan" on it.
Oh.
What a way to go.
So is there a freezer? Yes, there is a walk-in freezer.
Okay. Can we direct the? Well, first of all, is there like? Oh, there's not like any cleaning supplies back here, like a broom or anything.
I think there's probably a broom there. Yeah, like a basic broom and a mop, like just for the basic.
Okay,
basic
then I'm gonna grab. Basically, I want to grab something with like a long stick and try to herd them towards the freezer.
Okay.
See if I can get them to not like lunge at us or see if I can at least in like some kind of confused state keep them to kind of like back them into the freezer or at least towards it.
Okay. So
herding. You're a Nerf zombie herder.
Yes.
Right, because they're obviously zombies from eating Nerf.
Perfect.
If I'm not mistaken.
Nerf
light. Are you running to the freezer and then like having them follow you, or how are you doing that exactly?
Well, let's start with like I'm grabbing the broom or mop or anything and kind of like waving it at them and like pushing them towards the freezer first to see if that will actually get them to kind of like back off towards it.
Like they're if they're following motion.
Yeah, okay. see if I can like confuse them back into their because they're not aggressive at the moment. They just tore someone apart. They're kind of
full.
Right. They're full.
Yeah. Full or
to the extent
passive at the moment. Yeah.
Okay.
See if I can, while they're in like a passive state, try and herd them, direct them without actually like attacking.
So I'm gonna say you get your one regular, you get your second one because your skill is your janitor skills, and you're doing this with a broom. Like this is your paintbrush. The broom is your paintbrush. And then I'll give you a third one just because I like that idea. So go ahead and roll 3 and we'll see what happens.
Okay, I got 4, 4, and 2.
Okay, so 4, 4, and 2. So that's definitely going to be a mixed success because you did get one success there. And wait a second. No. Your number is 4. So you used the force. 4. You used the force. You got 2 use the forces there. So you definitely succeed, and then you can also.
You're using the force on a broom.
No, I'm more like making them think there's some reason.
They're hurting.
Yeah, I'm making them think there's some good reason why they should be in the.
Yeah, I think
you're using a broom and you're using the force. Just that's something that can make a lot of Star Wars fans upset for some reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it shows that anyone can use the force and be important to the world.
So I'd say for this, since you were doing something that was pretty like far-fetched and you got to use the force, I'm gonna go ahead and say that what happens is you basically it totally works. And part of the reason that it works is that you are feeling a certain energy, like you're kind of willing it to happen. And then, so you are able to get those five, the five Skywalkers to go into the freezer. You close the freezer, and you have solved the puzzle of getting the zombies into the freezer. Good job. So now, let's jump back to Lieutenant Fopp, because you are in the shit right now.
I've been abandoned in the canteen as the only two
100%.
non-zombified people seem to have escaped and shut the door behind them. Is that correct?
The
Mandalorian is not zombified yet. He seems to be He seems to be dying violently on the ground in front of me. Is what's happening. I called for backup, and then immediately the facility locked down. Well, this seems to be like your job. Why don't you tell me that? Describe the scenario I'm in.
Okay, yeah. So the two stormtroopers are out of the kitchen. Actually, no, they aren't. I forgot that there was one that was still in the kitchen. He's dead. He's just like regular dead in there, in the kitchen. So if you guys want to take his blaster,
I want his blaster.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I forgot he was in there. So you've got one stormtrooper there with you, and probably about 40 or 50 zombie types have woken up. The main exit is blast door close. And like I said, and the kitchen is still regular locked.
If you want to make regular.
Make a
but it's regular locked. But I presumably have like codes to this
wristband. You have the wristband.
So I've got the magic band.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna have you roll to decide whether you had a key card or not. But since you've thought of it yourself, then yes, you do have the key card for the kitchen.
Okay, but I'm still in. When you were describing there's 50 zombie people, was that you're saying in the kitchen or in the room, the small room I'm in?
In the cafeteria. In the cafeteria, it's pretty big. I mean, it's like.
Oh, okay. It's the entire. Yeah.
It's a cafeteria. You guys have been to a cafeteria before. You know how big they are.
You like put the band to the thing and it goes beep. I could imagine Batmouse readying the blaster.
Right,
like,
no,
blaster's
ready.
I'm like, wait, zombies don't use key cards.
Good.
You're right. Zombies don't use key cards.
Before I skip out, I'm going to take a quick survey of the canteen to make sure that there's not anyone useful that I'm leaving behind, or if everyone there is already infected. As far as I understand that at this point. I'm not sure if there's any zombie fiction in the Star Wars universe. I have any frame of reference for this sort of thing, but
why don't you make a stars roll to see if you've seen zombie movies before?
Okay. Well, so I have to roll
a 5 or a 6.
A 5. So I have to roll a 6 to see if I've seen a zombie movie.
Yeah.
I roll a 5.
Okay, so you do.
I have one very important experience as a child seeing a zombie movie, and that's I felt forced during it.
Exactly.
And that's why it scared me and why it stuck with me to this day.
Mm-hmm. And you get the sense that that's what's happening now. That for some reason, these things are going to follow zombie logic.
I read about some thing that happened in the Clone Wars when an entire colony got infected by the Queen or something. There's a Clone Wars episode where this happens. So anyway, yeah.
There's a Clone Wars episode of zombie? I didn't know that.
There's a mind control episode of Clone Wars, yeah.
Okay.
But it doesn't really work. It's not a good episode. Anyway, not important. Okay, so I have a frame of reference for this. I recognize all these people are goners, and I look around. There's no one worth saving, right? No one
Except
who seems like they might be useful.
There is a stormtrooper. There's one stormtrooper.
There's still one stormtrooper.
And he's still
yeah, he's holding his own.
Okay, I yell for him to come with me, and I reach to use the key card on the door, and yell for him to come with me because he's still shooting.
All right. Yes, sir. I'll cover you while you open the door. And he keeps firing.
Yeah, so it should be okay. Oi, you there with me? Let's get out of here.
All right. Let's do this. I'll cover you. You get the door open. Make a wars, just a one roll for wars once to open the door and get across the room and stuff.
Rolled a 6, which is the only failing roll that exists for this. I have a 5. And I just needed to roll a 5 or below, and apparently I was really good at remembering that I had seen a zombie movie or at some point in the past, but I'm really bad at using a key card to open this door.
So you make it across the room. You have some trouble getting the key card to scan. It's like these freaking.
Why isn't it? Come on! What? I lick it and like rub it on my tunic and try to do all the tricks, and it's not going.
So eventually it does click open, but then you look back and you see that the stormtrooper has been completely covered in there's a pile of about 6 zombies just like ripping his armor off and ripping him limb from
Is his gun available though?
No. If you'd succeeded, I might have given it to you, or if it was a mixed success, but no. His gun is not available.
It's a 6. All right.
All right.
Okay.
So the door.
I guess I'll die then.
The door clicks open. The door clicks open. You're at the door. You eventually get it open. It's just the failure was just the stormtrooper.
Or is it just that they heard like me failing to open it with my key card 5 times in a row, and they took pity on me and like, can we just open this for him?
That's that. But so you open the door, you go in. How do BM and Levy respond?
Well, I mean, I'm sure that door has like a little window thing, right? So we can take a look to see who's at it, right?
Right. Yeah, you can kind of see what's going on.
So we can see that they're not a zombie, but someone else behind them is getting ripped apart by a zombie, right?
Right.
I mean, I suggest we at least let them in because they've got cards, like key cards or something. And we're gonna have to get out of here somehow.
Don't know how to use them apparently, but I do have them.
He's got the codes we need. He can come in.
Okay.
But he better be quick, and he should have cookies.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Did you bring the canteen snacks?
He specifically did not. He reached for the gun instead.
Be careful.
I mean, that's understandable.
Be careful. Be careful what you eat. Apparently. So now you are all in the kitchen. So basically you got the walk-in freezer is sealed off, has people trying to force the door open. You've got a bunch of them
and freezing.
A bunch of them outside of the kitchen they haven't figured out how to climb in over the buffet.
Can we rough count how many are out there?
What did I say?
50.
Like 60?
You said 50.
There was
like
50 before,
yeah.
but the trooper was still shooting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd say you're right. So a decent number of them probably have been picked off. So I would say it's probably down to like 30. And then let's see what else is in the room. There's a ventilation shaft. There's some like basic like cutlery. There's
Can I scavenge the rest of the trooper?
Sure. Make a
search his body.
Yeah, make a wars roll. Just 1d6.
6.
I catch my breath and try to radio to the bridge to see if they're still functioning, if there's any like, or if we're basically I'm trying to establish that we are on our own and there's no no command structure above. Because if there's a command structure existing, then I need to be a part of that. But if yeah.
Okay.
I rolled a 6. Which
Okay.
I assume is a fail.
Okay. So you start to frisk the stormtrooper, and the stormtrooper's arm lifts up and grabs your arm. Now we'll jump over to Matt.
No.
And so you comlink over. Who is this? What's your operating number?
This is Lieutenant Fopp, and I give him whatever my operating number is. Supposedly I have one.
All right. Well, I'm going to assume that checks out because our systems are all locked out. If you can make it to the bridge, then we should be able to help you out. There seems to be something's put the ship into lockdown. We're not really sure. Sounds like some kind of something to do with the scientists. The food?
The scientists.
Yeah, something. So I don't know. They don't tell us anything. I'm just the pilot. The captain left earlier and hasn't come back. Then the lockdown happened.
Left?
I don't know. Said they were going to check on the scientists. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, and then lockdown. As soon as they left, the lockdown happened. I don't know.
I think. Do I know what level the scientists are?
Yes. It's they're in cell block B, or it's connected with cell block B.
Right. Oh yeah, the scientists are they're also prisoners, right? Yeah.
They're sort of. I mean, depends who you ask. If they said I put in my 2 weeks notice, it wouldn't end well for them. Right. If they said, they don't really have a choice about
whether they're there, but they're treated nicer.
Exactly.
Yeah. And they still get paid.
Yes.
Yeah.
And cookies.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I know where they are, and I know kind of if there's where they are in relation to us. Would that be able to would there be an easy path between us and them using the ventilation shafts, which seem like might be our only avenue out of this place?
Make a man. See, this is where the perception. Yes,
it feels like this should be stars, not wars, but.
I mean,
because this is not. That's not a cold calculated.
No, that's your expertise, though, right? Because you're.
I think
you know where they're at.
I think that you just have a general feeling.
Of
that
the ship.
Well, yeah. Make a stars roll, and we'll just roll 2, and we'll just because it's expertise. 3 because you have time to think about it.
I mean, it could. I could argue that it's wars because it's. I'm just trying to use the logical.
Think about the schematic of the. But I think it's nah. Yeah.
It's not a traditional plan.
Roll 3, and I'll tell you what I think. What happens?
Okay. I've got a 1, a 2, and a 6.
Okay, so you succeeded with one of them, so that's fine. Yeah, you do. You get the sense that if you take the ventilation shaft, you should be able to get into the main cell block, into cell block A, and then if you can make it into cell block A, then you have the key card to get into cell block B.
Okay.
But you just have to go through the ventilation shaft. All
right. So I have a plan starting to form. Do you want to pop in to check with one of the other characters now?
Okay. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. So the stormtrooper's grabbing BM's arm. What do you do?
I'll grab BM and try to pull him away.
Okay. Roll stars. Or actually, well, what is I'm going to give BM the first opportunity to react because it's grabbing his arm. So, if he's going to pull away, you can assist him. Or what are you going to? What is BM going to do?
So he grabs my arm. I grab the arm back because he's dead, but are we sure he's dead? And then, I'm still leaning away, but I'm trying to make sure that the arm doesn't progress any further towards me at the same time.
Okay. The stormtrooper goes "Rrr," and kind of like lunges his head at you, like he doesn't realize he's wearing a helmet and he's trying to bite you.
Okay. So now we're confirmed zombie.
Okay.
Or
so
Skywalker.
Yeah. So go. Skywalker? Yeah, Skywalker. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like it. I like Skywalker. So yeah, if you want to try to pull off, if you want to try to pull away from him, roll 2.
Now, roll 2.
Yeah, for stars.
6 and 4.
Okay, yeah, you succeed. You get away from him, and he starts he starts to stand up, but he's moving a lot slower than the other ones.
I try and blast him in the head because I have his blaster. I have a blaster.
Sure. Roll wars. 3. Roll 3 for wars.
3 for wars. 2, 4, 6.
Okay. One of them. So you kind of shoot, and you almost hit
Wing
Lieutenant Fopp, and then you shoot again, and you hit like a pan that makes a loud noise, and then on the third shot you get him square in the head, and he goes down.
Okay. All right. So immediate action is done.
All right. So yeah. So now you guys should talk in character and figure out what's going on. Keeping in mind that two of you are prisoners and one of you is an Imperial officer. So you guys,
But everyone else who's a zombie, we're the only live people in the room.
Yes.
Counting zombies that are not active as dead.
Yes.
So twice.
Yes. Yes, you are the only 3 in the room, but there's a bunch of people trying to get in from several directions, and it's a pretty small room.
Oh, okay. So they are at the door, and
yeah, they're banging
and the thing that we covered.
Yeah, the door and the freezer and the yeah, they haven't gotten in yet, but it's only a matter of time. I'd say you probably got a minute or two to kind of organize yourselves.
Okay, so I'm going to say we probably should get moving to somewhere else. Is there any other non-covered entrance that we have open here?
The shafts. I explained that they're the ventilation shafts, and that we can take those to cell block A. And hopefully, the situation is a little more manageable there. I mean, I gesture to the doors with a bunch of Z words banging at them, and I think pretty much any place will be better than here in a few minutes.
I like the plan. I do. Maybe you should grab something heavy and metal, though. It might help you along the way. And then get us into them shafts, and you're going to lead the way.
You can have the broom if they can't find anything else.
That's a you thing. We don't want to give him the broom.
Yeah, you should.
I quite like you having the broom. You did quite well with that. We're going to go ahead and leave that alone with you.
Wait, there's a blaster here. Who has the blaster right now?
I have the blaster. You're not getting my blaster.
It's not your blaster. I believe it was this man's blaster. I gesture to the dead stormtrooper on the ground.
Well, possession is 3/5 of a bantha hide, and I have it. So.
Well, now listen. You're a prisoner on this ship.
Hey.
I have a gun.
How about we argue with this after we get out of this room? We know we have the blaster. We have a broom. Let's grab whatever else we need, and then we'll discuss who gets what when we get out of this room in particular.
grab a ladle and maybe some cookies, and let's go.
Well, now listen. Now, if I'm going to be going out in front, I don't want anyone behind me to have the blaster. I think the person that is going in front of everyone else should have the gun, especially if that person is someone that others might feel it advantageous to shoot at some point. Now, listen. I
checked the charge on the blaster
to clear the air.
and pointed at him. I said, "You need to get moving."
We're all on a prison ship. You're prisoners. I'm not. I realize this may cause some tension, in the group dynamics. But I just want to clear the air here. We are in an emergency crisis situation. Now this has happened before.
And this emergency pertains to my life, and my life is important to me. My life matters. Now go ahead.
And I understand that. I'm just saying, emergency crisis situations can often be great opportunities to earn points against your sentence.
I'm gonna get like a stool and just like start heading towards the vent and open it up and start crawling into the vent. And shout out, "Hey, I know this is kind of like hard to trust each other, but I really think we should argue this in another place. Come on, I'll go first."
All right, Jordan.
It's all right. After you, Mr. BM. I gesture towards the vent.
So you didn't grab anything on the way out. I'm fine being ahead of you if you have nothing in your hands. That's fine.
Well, I look around. Is there anything that's worth grabbing?
There is a very, very heavy-duty ladle.
Are there any cookies? Are there any cookies stashed away?
I wouldn't trust the food at the moment.
Biscuits.
No. Packaged
biscuits.
Oh, packaged food.
Packaged food.
There's those biscuits from that episode of The Mandalorian. There's like a box of them.
They're like macarons?
I grab as many as I can.
Yeah.
Grab as many as I can.
Sure, you have, and we'll say like there's
Are you
like
sure you're gonna be able to hold all of those in the blaster at the same time?
There's like a grocery tote bag. Yeah, the tote bag says Star Kroger on it. Yeah, so
you got a ladle and now you have a bag. You can move.
All right. So you guys get out of the. Let me see if I can make this sound like, because this would be a good like cliffhanger if I break this up into multiple episodes. Okay, you get out of the. You successfully go through the ventilation shaft. It kind of gets like to like smaller real fast, so that you can't really go super far in it. But there is an opening where you can get. I'm just going to hand wave you through to get to the main cell block A. It's disturbingly quiet because most of the people who would normally be in cell block A, it's their dinner time. You only hear a few like weird kind of groans, the same kinds of stuff. And then you hear a small voice, please help me. Please help me. Well, I don't know how our heroes are going to get out of this one. But we'll see on the next installment of Stars and Wars. Thanks for listening. You cannot miss what you've never seen before. Deep inside you know there must be more. As I left, no one tried to stop me. So I learned I was always as free as I wanted to be. Always as free as a bird. I was always as free as I I wanted to be, just too scared to see who I could be. This podcast is a production of the Kendall Cast Podcast Network. You can support the show for just $2 a month at patreon.com/KendallCast or make a direct donation through the PayPal link at kendallcast.ninja. Every little bit helps.